Good evening and welcome to another episode of Unstoppable Overcomers. Tonight I have the distinct pleasure of interviewing Mr. Alan Hennessy all the way from Dublin, Ireland. This truly is an international show. I love it. And I just love his accent. So, Alan, welcome to the show. And just tell us a little bit about, first of all, yourself first, and then we'll go into your overcoming story.
So it's a pleasure to be here with you, Dorothy. I'm loving this. This is great. It's a bit late in the evening for me, but we're delighted to be here. It's just gone 12 o'clock, 12 a.m. here on Tuesday morning. But look, you know what it is. It's all good. It's all good. So my name, Alan Hennessy. Yes, Compass Media is the company, and they call me the digital mentor. So I help people navigate the digital marketing landscape, and we try and help them to achieve their goals and gain, I suppose, the visibility and brand awareness for either their brand or their organization, or if they're a solo entrepreneur, help them to personally brand themselves and create the visibility online for them. And I also run a digital marketing agency as well. So, yeah, so it's all good.
Awesome. And has been the most challenging um client that you've had? You don't have to say their name, but just like what was the most challenging one that you had?
Um, it was a few years back. I suppose I've been very lucky in the clients that we've taken on. We sort of get to know them. I'm a very big believer in being very personal with people and getting to know them and connecting with them, because I think that's the only way you can really work properly with people. And when they get you, you get them, and there's great synergy that happens there. But I suppose I've had one or two clients that have been a little bit sticky. Let's just put it that way. And but look, I suppose at the end of the day, you have to sort of say, okay, well, look, what can you do? You have to just literally go with them and try and help them as best you can. Like, I've studied NLP, so neuro linguistic programming, so that has helped me, hugely, because you can understand the way they think, and then you can sort of mirror their type of way that they do things. So it works. So you sort of get the best out of the situation. But sometimes it can be yeah, it can be challenging at times, but we get over that when we move on, and we just keep going.
Right. That's awesome. I was just asking because I out of the blue, I just love networking with people, and I am a big fan of just getting to know people and
Mm.
what makes them tick. And I just randomly picked this lady and asked if we could connect, and asked if I could have 15 minutes of her time. And it's funny because I said, what is your, she does some kind of, I forget exactly what she does, but anyways, she said her one of her clients was um, she was working for a senator that was going to run for elections, and I thought, well, that was pretty cool because you never know when you're talking to somebody, right? So I
Mm.
just thought, oh, I'll ask that question because it was unique, but that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, no, it is. I totally agree. I think networking is so important, and you know, obviously, the world that we live in now, it's become so much more important.
Yes.
So I think yeah, networking can be, it's great, and if you know how to do it, and you know how to do it right, and I think if you're more personal and you be yourself, you will
Yes.
shine through, and you'll be attracted to the right people, and they'll be attracted to you. So I think it's very important.
Absolutely. And I was just I was trying to remember all of our first conversation because you really had me like enthralled with your story. So tell us a little bit about your overcoming story.
Well, I suppose, look, it's no secret at this stage. When I was young, I could hardly read or write, and there was a lot of that sort of I suppose, would make you sort of not be as confident as you would like to be. And I say now to people who I meet who are in them challenging positions, to don't give up. You know what I mean? Strive and just do your best. And because I think that's the only way we can do it. But like that, it can be it can be very hard at times on the person that's going through it.
Hmm.
So having someone to understand it and and sort of guide them, say, look, I was that soldier, as I always say, you know, it does get better and it does get easier, and you just have to do it. Like I know when it happened when I was younger, we didn't have that. You know, there was never that drive. There was never that, I suppose, support at the time.
Hmm.
I'm not saying that we weren't helped along the way, but at the same token, it was quite challenging. And you know, through a number of different jobs over the years, I sort of landed into, I suppose, warehousing, and then worked in corporate for a number of years, and went on then to be very successful within the industry. Because I think there's a lot of, and this is something that I think that a lot of people should remember is that if you are not academically, you know, good at what you do, everyone has a talent, everyone has a place, and everyone knows what they can do. And some people achieve so much more from not even having that academic. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have it, but what I'm saying is that, you know, some people are a lot more creative than they
Hmm.
would be at writing or reading or whatever it may be. They're like, and that's where I see a lot of really, really interesting stories. And like, I've met a lot of people over the years who have had that and who have also gone through that, but have found that they are incredible. Like, I know there's one lady I know, and she's a singer, and incredible, incredible voices. So I think we're all, you know, we all have something to bring to the party. And you know, so it just happens in different ways. So I think there's a lot of that. But look, I was very fortunate to, you know, stumble into a job that I loved from when I worked in corporate. I enjoyed it, and I learned so much. And I ended up like I was on. We worked for a big pharmaceutical company, and I was asked to join the diversity and inclusion team that was in the company, um, on the local site, and started on that, and sort of always thought that, you know, diversity and inclusion was sort of, and I don't mean this in any derogatory way, but it was black and white, and that was it, and that was my knowledge of it. But as I started to learn and soak up the information, I found it fascinating, and I ended up going to the head office in New York and being put onto the whole pharmaceutical company's head of their team,
Wow.
in diversity inclusion. So, you know, it opened up so many opportunities. And then I started the agency back in, oh God, it must have been 2012. And we've just built it from there. And it's just become, you know, it's been very successful, and we love what we do, and we have a great team, and it's just fantastic to be able to sit here and talk to you now, and like, this is what it's all about, isn't it, really?
It is. It is totally. This is what it's all about, and that is amazing. And I just want to go to the comments for one quick minute. Our friend Inker is joining us
Hi, you.
and says welcome, and our friend Jenny. Um, thank you, ladies. Welcome. And so, yeah, if you're just tuning in, Ellen, that is an incredible story. You know, to overcome um, being able to read and write, and without giving too much away, that is so. What your project that you're doing right now? Then that is huge. Then for you,
Yeah,
especially,
exactly. But
you
it's,
know.
yeah, like it's very, it's quite strange because um I left corporate, I left my corporate job.
Mhm.
I took a voluntary redundancy because the time was right for me to do that. I went and I said, right, well, look, I'm going to go into this full time because this was my
Right.
passion. I'd always like, I can remember when there was MySpace and there was Bebo, and that
Mhm.
was the social media stratosphere at that time. So
Right.
back then there was a lot. But when I started, like, I left my corporate job, and I went back and I done a postgraduate diploma in digital marketing. And it was gas because, like, I had left school when I was about 14, and I hadn't been back in a classroom for nearly whatever, 30 years type, 20 years anyway, and walking back into a classroom full of students and looking and going, okay, you're the mature students in this group here now. So you're just going to sit at the back, soak it all in, and then and start to and do your diploma. And that was always the focus.
Right.
And after I think it was about the third week, people were turning to me and saying, what do you think, Alan? And I'm going, well, and it was a great confidence builder, but it was great understanding, because what it made me look at it was, you know, these these the other students that were in the class had come out of college. They had no life experience. They hadn't been in the the business world, or in the corporate world, or in any type of employment. They were just coming from college to the next, doing their next degree, and then they were going to start. So having that life experience and having worked with a lot of teams and a lot of different teams gave me a huge opportunity to share my knowledge. And that's what I do now. And as you say, I have a project at the moment, and I suppose we might as well tell people that I am writing a book. People have asked me for a number of years now, so when are you going to write this book? And I'm going, so I've taken the plunge, and we started it before Christmas. So yeah, we're in the process of doing that. So yes, as you say, it is, from where I came to where I am now, it's fantastic.
And that's that is truly incredible. There's just something, like when you just said that, from where you were to where you are now, do you ever stop and think, like, how did I get to where I am? Like, did you ever give yourself enough credit to say, hey, I've come a long way and I'm proud of myself, and look at the accomplishments that I've done? Because I know, myself included, I don't give myself enough credit for everything that we've been through. What about yourself? What do you think of that?
I don't think anyone does. I honestly don't think anyone does. It's only when someone says it to you. It's like we went through a slump there a couple of years back with the business. It wasn't doing, like it was doing okay, but it wasn't where I wanted it to be.
Right.
And I remember my wife saying to me, she says, look where you started, and look at what you're doing now. Look at who you've talked to. Look who you work with. Look who you're dealing with. So, and you sort of have to stand back and go, yeah. So I suppose that self gratitude and that I suppose accomplishment is something that we should really all should look at, because I think it's very important, because it helps you, because it gives you that boost, it gives you that confidence to move to the next stage. It's like when someone said to me, when are you going to write this book? And I said, oh, I couldn't write a book. Here I am now writing it. And like it's great. It's a great opportunity now. And I'm
Right.
excited by it. So the things that I used to fear are now
Right.
the things that excite me. And I said, this
Yes.
is another opportunity. It's like when we met first and we chatted first. It was a great to actually sit down and chat with you,
Right.
prior to the show and whatever. So like, and I love meeting new people, and I love meeting new and interesting. Everyone has a fascinating story to tell.
Yes.
I've noticed this over so many years. Everyone has a fascinating story.
Yes. And I always say that everybody has a story. It's just trying to get that story out of them.
Mm.
That's why we help them overcome those obstacles so that they can share their story. And everybody's story is powerful. And so, what made you get into the digital piece, and branding and brand awareness and things like that?
Um, well, I've always been very creative. And I've always been I've always loved that. I spent 30 years DJing, so
Awesome.
I was always in front of people, and I was always watching how people react, and how people, how you interact with them. And then I suppose when the digital marketing came along, especially more so at the time when I started out, it was a lot of website, but we were writing code and stuff like that. But I was amazed at what you could do, and how easy, and how not how easy it was, but how easy it was to create something that was really, really insightful. And then social media blew up, and social media has given us all a voice. And I love to see that, and I think it's fascinating. And I always get so excited when I see people starting to use social media and like not be afraid and saying, "Oh my gosh!" Like I know from when I'm training and I'm teaching people, and you see them getting them light bulb moments, and you go, and that's why I do it,
Yeah.
because I see the joy in people's face and I see the light bulb moments that go off. They go, "Oh my god, I didn't realize I could do so much with this." And can I? And it's just, and I just go, "Yes, yes." So it's really good that way.
Right. And I totally love that. I'm just going to go to comments for 1 minute here. Cindy says hello. Carl says the digital mentor awesome discussion. And Mark, welcome. Mark's from New Zealand.
Oh,
Wow. We
fantastic!
definitely have different around the globes. That's awesome. Thank you guys for joining us. And that you're right, Alan. That is fascinating because when I first started the show back in May of 2021, I had no idea what I was doing. Actually, matter of fact, I took Tim Sean's course, live streaming course, and I
Mm.
was just like, at the beginning, I was like freaking out, thinking, "How am I going to do this?" And it's one of the best things that I've ever done. I will admit I'm a natural talking with people. And and I don't say that lately. Like I don't say that to boast or anything like that, but
No,
it's
no,
it's like it's fun. To me it's fun. It's meeting people look at tonight, for instance, meeting people around the world in our own home, but bringing everybody's story and their intelligence. I guess I was going to say the word intelligence, bringing their what you have, like you said, what you have to offer to the rest of the world. And I think that's so important. Like people didn't, if nothing else, this pandemic has brought out more Zoom calls than ever before and
mm.
more connections. Yes, we may not be able to leave our houses sometimes because we're on lockdown for the 10,000th time, but we're able to still connect. And I think that's what has helped me get through this pandemic. Because I'm social butterfly and I love to, um, meet people and things like that. And we haven't really been able to do that here in Canada in the last 2 years. So to be able to, and have all these amazing shows, live
Yeah,
shows, because it's like we're family here, especially on the LinkedIn network, and bringing those family into our family rooms, right?
mm.
So, and that's why,
Yeah.
um,
It's really is. It's amazing because what we're doing is we're building communities, and we're
yes,
building communities around the world that are connected. That, and and I said it earlier on before we came on, is like geography is now history. We can be anywhere we want to be in the world. Look, we're in New Zealand. Look, we're in Ireland. Look, we're in Canada. Like it's incredible, and that's the power that it's given us. And it's what it's done is it's also helped a lot of people, because I knew a lot of people and a lot of business owners and a lot of, I wouldn't say entrepreneurs. There were people that were in business for a number of years, that when you say to them, "Oh, you need to be doing stuff on social media, or you need to do a few videos." "Oh no, I couldn't be doing anything like that. I don't need that. I wouldn't be doing." Pandemic hit, everyone was jumping and saying, "Okay, I think we need to do something here." Whether that be Zoom calls and just connecting with their clients and stuff like that.
yeah,
But it opened up a whole new dimension, that people were actually starting saying, "Hold on, this is not as bad as what we thought it was going to be." And I suppose the one thing about the pandemic, and I sat back and I thought about it for a while, was it's the only thing in this world that has ever been worldwide. It's like someone has just thrown a blanket
yeah,
over the world and said, and everyone is underneath that blanket. And
yeah,
we're all trying to connect, and we're all trying to just get on with it and do our best and stay safe, and whatever we have to do.
yeah,
But it has been great because that has brought everyone together as a sense of community, because everyone knows what people are going through.
yeah,
Look, we know there's different people that have lost loved ones and stuff like that,
yeah,
but there's also people that have, who have got, say, the type of COVID,
right,
and are able to share their stories. Say, "Oh well, I had it and I was
yeah,
there's a connection, there's an automatic connection there, and people are willing now to sit down and talk with each other a lot more frequently online. That's We started the Global Tea Break a month before the pandemic,
Right.
and we have a worldwide community that meet every third Friday. And it's not a plug, but it's just the reason why I'm saying it is that we now have a global community that meet every third Friday of the month. And they turn up, and people turn up, and they're delighted to turn up because they're starting to get to know each other, and we all are in that community. And I think that's what, as you say, is what's bringing us all to closer.
Yeah.
So we don't need to be face to face and
Right.
hands on. When we can be right here in front of each other and talking.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because my next question was going to be about the Tea Party. So that I'm glad you did bring that up. I just couldn't remember the exact name of it.
Yeah, the global tea break. I tell you how it came about is because, and it's actually a very interesting story. So I was sitting, prior to us moving, I moved out to a new office here in a cabin at the back, um, because it's great because I don't need we all work remotely, so it's great. So we don't need to have big plush offices and stuff like that. So the team are great like that. But I spent 10 years, and I always say 10 years in a box room, running a company, which was great. But I was sitting one Friday afternoon, and you know the way the four walls start to close in on you. And I said, I'd just love to chew, have a chat with someone online, not about business, not about anything, just shoot the breeze, talk to someone. So I put it out on Twitter. I says, anyone want to have a cup of tea? Because I'm Irish, and I know everyone uses the cup of coffee. So I says, let's let anyone want to have a cup of tea and have a chat. And a good friend of mine in the States, D. Scott Smith, said, I'll jump on. And we both jumped on and we had a great chat. And we both said, we should invite more people to this. And that's how the tea break started. And
That's
it's
awesome.
we're going into our third year now next month. So we're 3 years into it. So the time has flown, and it's just been brilliant to see so many people just connecting and friendships building, and with incredible people around the world.
Right. And that is the third Wednesday of every month?
The third Friday of every
Oh,
month.
Friday.
It's
Sorry.
it's you'll find all the details on uh, globalteabreak.com is where you'll find
Okay.
it.
I'm going to put that in the comments. Uh,
But all you have to do is go and register once, and you'll get a notification to say that you're registered, and then each month after that you'll get a notification the day before to say that the tea break is on. So you only have to register once, and it's all free. It's all free, no charge whatsoever. So there's no hidden costs whatsoever. It's about community. You
that
know.
is awesome. So do you find with the pandemic though that your business has increased especially globally then?
Yes, definitely.
Since you're doing more Zoom calls and things like that, and I know you're in. So for those of you that missed the beginning of the show, Alan is actually from Dublin, Ireland, and I love his accent. If you could tell his accent, and I have a thing for accents. What can I say? My family's originally from Scotland. My dad's side. There we go. Thank you, Inger. When I
Anger
put
is a
it on,
huge advocate of the global tea break, and
yes.
she's presented and everything. It's she's been fantastic, and she's a good friend as well. So delighted
Yes.
to see her.
Inger is an amazing lady, and if you don't know her, you definitely need to connect with her on
Yes,
LinkedIn
definitely.
and Facebook or both. I'm connected both, and I even have her phone number. I'm that privileged. But sorry, getting back to the original question. So, yeah, that's what it was. Connecting with globally and expanding your business to the United States
Mm.
and Canada and all around the world. Right? Really.
Yeah, yeah, it has. It's been great. It's like I would have done a lot of work internationally because I have the podcast, and I would have connected with a lot of marketeers around the world. And so it's sort of I've always done a lot of business internationally, but it shot up. It actually, where I think it got more busier than anything was with people were training, and people were really starting to, you know, because they couldn't go to work, they were sort of saying, well, what can I do? And what should I invest my time in? So lucky for us, we started doing a lot of training with a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs and solo entrepreneurs and stuff like that that were really interested in finding their feet. And from that, I've built a whole program of mentorship programs out of that. Um but I think it was great because it just opened up a whole new ideas for people that were more interested in. And now I look at some of the people that I trained back, whatever, a year and a half ago, and I look at them and they are just killing it on social media. They're just like rocking it out on social, and you just look at them going,
Yeah.
I had a hand in that. I had a part to play in that. And I'm not saying that I did it for them, but like what I'm saying is you have a hand to play in it, and that gives me an enormous amount of joy every time I do that. I
Right.
see someone doing so well.
That, yeah, that would, and you should be proud of that. Like you said, just helping. Not only are you building the community, but seeing somebody go from, say, nothing to something, right? And
Mm.
bringing that brand awareness, with each client, and making each client unique, like you said before, getting to find out who they are and bringing those strengths out, so that
There's
people can see that.
there's a lady I worked with, and still do to a certain degree, but when she started, she had no experience online at all. She had a small bit. Um, Sorry, you kept me there. Sorry, I just went off there. She had quite a little bit of experience online, and she wanted to create something. And I went, yeah, yeah. Well, look, there's no problem. Sort of gave her the idea of the tools and gave her them. I find my big thing is I like to work with people, because, and the reason I like to work when I say is I like to work with people, I like to work with people and teach them what they want to learn, as opposed to saying this is how you do this, this is how you do this, because nobody wants that. People want to say, well, I want to know how you do this, this, and this, and I go, okay, well, that's great. So now we have a purpose. Now we know exactly what we want to do, and it's efficient, and it does all that. But this lady now has gone on and she has interviewed some of the biggest authors in the world, and she has her own live show, and she is just, you wouldn't believe the authors that she's talked to around the world, and you just go, wow. And I seen her a year and a half ago, and she knew so little about the I suppose the workings of social media and how it worked and whatever. And now I'm looking at it and going, I could actually learn one or two things from you at this stage. So, and I think we're always learning. Like I learn every
Yes.
day. And I think that's
Yes.
the key to this.
Absolutely. Actually, I had a coach tell me once that when her students surpass her, she knows that she's done her job properly.
Yeah.
And that is so great, and they look forward to that, because some people, what I saw this saying today, don't be upset when someone passes you, a clap and honor that, and not be jealous of other people's wins. That's what it was. Not be jealous of other people's wins. And so, when I see somebody that I've helped mentor or something like that, and help them, rise from the ashes, so to speak, it's
Mm,
empowering, and it's fun to see them blossom and become the person that they are. And it's just truly wonderful.
yeah. Oh no, it is. There's no doubt about it. There's nothing as good as that. And it's great when you see that, because what it does is it adds to everyone. It adds to everyone's life. It adds to everyone's. I just find that people really, really are starting to connect. And I see Chris Hennessy is there, and
I
he's asking what's my second name. It's exactly the same as yours, Chris Hennessy, and it's spelt the same way,
I
Hennessy.
I
No E at the
saw
end.
that.
And I'm sure Chris goes, Why do they put an E at the end of my name? I'm sure they do. But anyway,
Oh, that's funny. I take it there's no relation.
no, no,
No.
no.
And
Yeah,
it's, you know what's really ironic? Chris is going to be on the show in February. So that's really
fantastic.
ironic. So, and Chris has his own show as well. Now, do you, I can't remember. I'm looking through my notes. Do you have your own podcast as well?
Yeah, I have two.
Oh, okay.
I don't
So,
have I don't have one, as if I had nothing else to do. So I
hey,
have two. I
that's where
have
I have my fun.
yeah, I have the Social Media Talks podcast, which is all about digital marketing, and we talk to some of the world's leading digital marketers, and we've had some fantastic guests, like we've had Jay Bear on, we've had Mark Schaefer, we've had Madeline Scalar, like so many really, really, really incredible people on, and all so willing to share and just to help and advise and share insights and stuff like that. So that's one of them. And then we have also the Curious Fire podcasts. So the Curious Fire is there to spark your curiosity. So we talk about many, many different topics, from digital dopamine to um, where are your thoughts? So there's so many, and I co-host that with a good friend of mine in the UK, Trevor Lorkins, and we have really, really good conversations. They're all available on all the usual podcast providers as well. And then we also have the
Excellent.
I also have the live show then, which is in conversation with Alan, which is just some incredible people. So that's all happens as well. So there's loads going on, loads going on.
Loads going on. So, folks, if you have not connected with Mr. Alan Hennessy already, you need to, because this man is amazing. Not only is he a digital marketing whiz, genius, mentor, he definitely has a lot of two podcasts and a live show going on, as well as in the works. He's writing his first book,
Mm.
but I can't
And
tell
you
you
can
the name.
Yeah, no, no. Well, it's still in negotiation, as
Is
they
it?
say.
Yes.
Yeah. And Compass Media, with Compass with a K, is the website. If anyone needs to find me, you'll find all the details there. And reach out and connect me. And please do. I'm always delighted to meet new people.
Yes, and all that information is in the show notes, but I'm going to put it. Oh, Tim has a question here. Would love to get you on a call.
No problem, Tim.
And
Anytime we must reach out and connect. Yeah, definitely. I know I was on the Tim and Jim show with himself and Jim Fuse, but yeah, we'll definitely have to have a chat again. I look forward to that. So,
yes,
send me a message or a DM or a PM on Facebook, and we'll definitely jump on a call. And I'm happy to talk to anyone else. Anyone else here is that's on who wants to jump on a call. Happy. I'm always delighted to chat with anyone.
absolutely. And that's what I love about this, because there's so many great people in the comments as well watching the show, and so many great guests such as yourself that come on, and it's all about collaboration. As a
Mm,
matter of fact, I've said this, like, I don't know how many times already in the beginning of January, that I believe 2022 is the year of collaboration. And since I've said that, I've had, like, I don't know how many people reach out to me and say, hey, can you be part of my network here? Can you be part of my network here? And oh, hey, you want to do a summit together? And hey, what have you
mm.
got going on? Because I want to help promote you. And it's kind of, for me, it's overwhelming, but in a good way.
Yeah,
In a
but I
good
think
way,
it's
meaning that, hey, people are starting to notice who Dorothy Odell is.
yeah, exactly, and that's it. And I think that's the most important part as well. Is that you start to get that recognition and people start to see it, because, it's like everything. The more you do it, the more you're visual. Some people say, "Oh, you shouldn't be every time I'm on, you're on," but you know what I mean. People consume content in different ways, and people consume, whether that be a live show or a podcast, or whether it be a blog, or whether it be a social media post, or whatever it may, we consume information in different ways. So it works for some people and it works differently for other people. So it's really important that we do stay visual, and we do stay, you know building that and building on that. And, like, I look at it, I see it every day, and I see people and I see amazing stuff that they do, and I go, this is great. You learn something new every day. I think that's the most important part. My word, I always, every January, I started it about 5 years ago. I was talking to Madeline Sklar, who's a Twitter expert. I don't know if you may know her. She's amazing, absolutely amazing lady. She's in Houston, in Texas, and you said we were talking, and she says, I pick a word every year, and I live by that word, and I pick the word, and I've done it for the last 5 years. So, like last year was fun, and this is what I'm saying. It was just like, right, okay, what is it then? Is the word going to be this year? It's going to be fun. And this year, it's commitment. That's my word for this year. And I plan to commit to everything I do. And I do it to the best of my ability. And I think that's, pick a word. I know I put it out on Twitter and we had a bit of fun with it. There was so many people came back and said, oh, I have to go and pick a word now. So, and I
Yeah.
get you thinking. It's good stuff.
Well, and that is true. And I love that, because if we don't pick something, then you're never going to
Focus. Yeah.
focus on it. Exactly. And I just love that. I'm like, you were talking off air, time blocking different things. And I love the fact that you said you time block your Fridays for writing your book, right? And
Mm,
that just sparked something that I know I've had to do, but just haven't done it. But that is something that I need to do, is just focus on what, because I have like three different projects on the go, all incredible stuff, but it's just focusing on the time for it and dedicating that time for it.
yeah. We're currently developing about, I think at the moment it's up to 6 websites, and we have a number of different clients that we're working with. And then I have a training schedule that's just never ending.
Right.
But you have to focus, you have to block your time and sort of say, okay, this, and it's very important as well, Dorothy, is that we need to block our time for ourselves
Yes.
and not for everyone else. And it's making time for yourself, whether that be writing a book or just getting out for that walk in the morning, but it's
Yeah.
giving you that space.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you very quickly get overwhelmed. So I think it's so important that you, as you say, is
Yeah.
give yourself a time frame or block of time where it's just for you. And that
Yes.
can be anything. Read a book, go for a walk, have a shower, have a bath, whatever it may be, whatever takes your fancy, just go
You
and do
said
it.
that
You
because
know,
I've definitely oh, Charles is here from Hong Kong. Holy, truly international show tonight. Dublin,
fantastic.
Ireland, New Zealand, and now Hong Kong. I love it. Um, it's because that's what I teach. That's my clients. Self care is key, and awareness. And
Mm,
sometimes though we can let ourselves get down
yeah, yeah,
and not ignore it intentionally, but with everything that's going on. And I thought, oh, I could use all day Sunday to work. But then I'm like, okay, wait a minute though, because I was already I knew that I needed some me time. So I
yeah,
did that this weekend. I booked some time. I read an amazing book, spent some time with my husband, my mom, and my stepson. So I made sure I had me time this weekend.
yeah. We done a podcast. We only released a podcast last week, and it was switch off your brain to think. So, and that's exactly what sometimes we don't do that.
That's right.
It's switching off your brain to think. So, so it's always good.
I love this. Alex says, I am always so hungry for live shows. I consume regularly.
Brilliant.
Well, we are happy you're here, Alex.
Exactly. Yeah. Too right. Hmm.
That is awesome. Lurkton. Mr. Lurkton. Congratulations on your new job, too, Alex. I see all his posts about his new job. So that's awesome.
Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff.
Awesome. And when is Alex going to have his own show? Because, I mean, he's out here supporting everybody's show. I think Alex should have a show.
Definitely. We'll all come on it, Alex. There you
That's
go.
right.
So
That's
there
right.
you go.
No matter what day or night, time of day or
Yeah.
night it is.
Doesn't matter. Look, it's 20 to 1 here in the morning.
That's
But you
right.
know what? That's all good. It's all good. It's all
That's
good.
right.
You know.
Well, that's funny you said that because last week Kimberly and I were on the Tony Lantis show, so we had to be up till 11 o'clock at night, and I was just like, "Oh my god!" That was a work night for me, so I still had to get up at 4 the next morning, but I did it, and but it was fun, and that's what to me, it's not work. This is not work for me. This is
No.
I enjoy this. This is like my pleasure time, and it's, I could do this every day of the week.
Yeah. As they always say, if you do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yes.
And it's so true, and that's why I do what I do. You know what I mean? Like when people say, like, I have this running joke on the podcast with Trevor, and he'll come out with a quote, and he says, "Oh, when I used to have a real job, I'm like we're doing this now, 15. Well, I'm doing it about 20 years there at this stage, and when I had a real job, and I'm saying, but this is a real job. It's just it doesn't feel like a real job because of what we do, but
Right.
yet it is. It's so important to for keeping the wheels in motion type of thing. But so yeah, so I think if you enjoy what you do, you definitely will never work a day in your life.
That's right. And I just want to notice, if anybody notices, that I have bubbly water pretty much every show. So we need to get Bubbly a sponsor of our show. We really do. We really need to get Bubbly Water a sponsor to sponsor our show. I know Tim's joke is Puffs, Puffs Kleenex, but okay. All right, hold on, I'm getting a thumbs up in my green room for something. For your shows, Alan, are they sponsored?
One of them is it's Content Cal do sponsor the podcast, but they have been sponsoring the podcast for the last, wow, what, last 4 years now at this stage. A great guy in the UK, Andy Lambert. Um, he set up this company. It's like a Hootsuite. It's like a buffer type of thing. It's called Content Cal. And when he set it up, I seen it and I went, "Oh, that's very interesting." And I had him on the podcast, and we ended up striking up a really good conversation, getting to know each other well. And he says, "We'd love to sponsor. We'd love to be the sponsor for the podcast." And I says, "Yeah." And they were only at the time they were only small. And I
Mm-hmm.
says, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And only there just before Christmas. Adobe is currently in the process of buying them.
Oh,
So they're now going to be an Adobe product. So I'm like, oh my gosh! So we've Adobe as a sponsor as much as Andy now. So it's great.
I've been trying to learn the Adobe Premiere, and I have to say, I was in the fetal position the first time I looked at it. and I kind of gave up on it because I'm like I kind of felt overwhelmed because I had so much on my plate at the moment, so I didn't want to go back. But I'm gonna have to. I'm paying for it, so I got to go back and look because there's some things I want to do for the show. Tim said he
Just I've
met
seen that there.
a social media. Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, he met Andy Lambert at Social Media Marketing World. I remember because he actually, and it's gassed him. You just saying that, he says I met him at the party. He had a party bus, and
Mm.
he messaged me privately on the bus, on the bus from the party bus, going saying, "Look what you're
That's
missing out." And I would, yeah. So I know
that's
exactly what you're talking
awesome.
about.
That
Yeah.
is awesome. Okay, folks. So we're coming to the next part of the show. For those of you that have started seeing us close to the end of the last year and beginning of this year, we've added a segment to the show called The Fundamentals. And we have our amazing roving reporter, Kimberly Genovese, on the show. She's on location, and I'm going to bring her in, and so she's going to share where she's at.
Hey
Hey,
everybody.
guys.
Hi. We're
Hi.
here in Park City, Utah.
Woohoo!
You
I
see the
love
mountains in
that
the
view.
background?
I love that view. I love that view.
We flew it in just for you, Dorothy, at your request.
Well, thank you. And for those of you that don't know, this is her amazing husband, Steve Genovese.
Hi, everybody.
I was going to make a funny from Tony's show, but I won't.
And Dorothy, inside of our goals and what we're out to achieve, we have our first official on location audience.
Woo!
Ready? Here
Yeah,
they come.
Ready?
Hey!
It's the Rokes. It's the Rokes. Good to see you. Awesome. And she's frozen. Oh,
No,
she's back.
I'm here.
She's
I'm
back.
here. I'm here.
Awesome. All right. So
So,
I'm going to turn this over to you.
are we ready to go?
I'm ready for you to go. Yeah.
So, Alan, we would love to hear from you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Dorothy, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
Oh, good. Alan, what are your 3 fundamentals? So, things simple, right? They are the core fundamentals of what you would tell everyone to access their best lives with.
Be personal, be friendly, and also to be to be happy and as well and enjoy yourself and have a bit of fun. That's what they're my things. And make sure you put a smile on someone's face every day. And
Oh,
there you go. That's the
and
simple ones.
Alan, that is so awesome. And this is what's so great. What Dorothy, what I've really been noticing is whoever we have on location seems to match up so nicely with whoever's in the studio with you. So Steve is going to be sharing uniquely from being a power couple. We have been married for 30 years this February. And where he's going to be sharing tonight on the fundamentals is, what are the 3 key fundamentals that make the difference in, not only have we been together for 30 years, but we truly are standing inside of our next 30 will be our best 30. So, drum roll, everyone. Here comes Stevie G. Yeah, no, that's perfect. Yes. Here comes Stevie G with our fundamentals.
So these are really straightforward. I mean, these are 3 that I think are fundamental in a successful, powerful couple. As number 1, it's constant communication. You can't over communicate. Making sure that your significant other understands exactly where you are and where you're going with whatever the communication is. And the next one is respect and trust. Always standing in what they matter and what their contributions matter, and trust that they always have their you always have their best interests in heart. And then finally, it's fun. I mean, making a commitment, taking the time out to stop, and everyone has stuff to do, everyone has responsibilities of work and family and kids, but making sure that you are always devoting some time in ensuring happiness and having fun, and not just the vacation once a year or once a month, but every day, just something little. Doesn't have to be anything. And those are my tools for success.
Awesome. I love that, Steve. I absolutely
Thank
love
you.
it.
So, Dorothy, this is so fun, right? So, the miracle, right, is we actually applied those fundamentals today for him to be on the show. Because I got to tell you, from where we were this morning and having the conversation about how amazing this show would be and ensuring that you got the backdrop that you wanted, Dorothy, we had to apply all 3 fundamentals. So,
Well, Steve, I thank you for that because I don't think my husband would have done that just yet. I can't even get him on the show, but that's okay.
hey, we're going to get him. We're going to get him.
We will. We will.
So back to you,
guys.
Dorothy.
Guys, I'm doing this nearly 10 years, doing live shows and stuff like that. And my wife will not even come into the room when I'm on. So, yeah.
There you go.
So see, there you go.
Yeah.
So we're a legit power couple applying what we're sharing with you, and we love you all. Thank you, Dorothy. Back to you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank
That
you.
is awesome. And look at that view. Like the ski
Phenomenal.
slope and all that. Like
Here,
awesome.
I'll give you.
What was that? I don't know. Is she coming? Oh, there she goes.
I was just shooting you the whole view.
The whole view. Okay. Like, look at that. Y'all need to go to Utah, Park City. Park City. We all need to go to Utah. Road trip.
Definitely. Definitely.
All right. So I'll put Kimberly back here. So that was awesome. That's incredible. So our very first, wow, we've had it on location before, but not like that. That's awesome. And our first audience, even.
Yeah.
Also, I can't.
Do you want?
Oh, hi.
Are you coming back in, or are you?
That's the beauty of live streaming, isn't it? It's just go with it.
I'm in. What are you doing with me?
I'm having some fun.
I can tell. at my expense. Wait, Don wants to.
Want the guest of honor to record hello, how are you in his accent because it's awesome.
Alan, she wants you to say hello. How are you?
Hello, how are you?
I want you to record it on my cell phone.
Rewatch.
I'll send it to Dorothy. I'll send you.
All right, hold on. Here you go.
You know what you do? You know what I could do is and I've done it before for people. I've actually recorded their telephone message, their cell message.
That would be great.
So get Dorothy to send me your name and all that, and what you want me to say, and I'll just say it.
Okay.
I love that. I love that. Okay, yes. There we go. Here's a new business opportunity for those of you that would like a Canadian voice. I will record your messages for you at a minimal charge.
Awesome. We're having
And
fun. Fundamentals. Woohoo!
And I can do a number of different accents, believe me. So whatever you want.
Good day, mate.
There's loads of them. Loads of them.
Hold on. How do I do that? Okay, hold on 1 second. I gotta get my snippet up. I don't normally do this, and Tim would cringe if he knew that I don't do this. But I'm trying to get my snipping tool. And hold on, where is it? Perfect. Okay. Right like that. I gotta get it.
What's happening?
She's gonna record his voice.
There. No, I just did a snippet of you like that.
The intro for your show.
Yeah. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna market it like crazy. And you can always listen to the replay. Tim says here, what does he say? Love this. We even learned business opportunities on the show. That's right.
Tim, we have to talk. I think we have. That's a new opportunity for everyone to do it. Jump
That's
on.
right.
There's so many different accents. Could you imagine?
Right. I love that. Thank you. That just came. Yeah. And I can take on someone's accent. I'm trying not to, because sometimes that can annoy somebody. So I'm really trying not to get into my Ireland accent, but it's really a struggle.
Yeah, you'll never beat the Irish.
That's true. That is true. So, folks, I have an ask because Kimberly and I are on a challenge of a lifetime here, and we're out to create 3 people a day each to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tim, if I say the word out that you want me to say, you have to get 3 people to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So out. Sorry?
I said it could be more than 3.
Yeah, it could be more than 3. So I need everybody that's in the comments to go and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Unstoppable Overcomers, and you would completely make our night. And I just love all of you being here and showing up and supporting our amazing friend Alan. And like Alan's, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning for Alan. So Alan, I truly appreciate you doing this and being here
It's
with
early,
us.
yes. It's early, yes.
It's early yet?
Yeah.
Well, if it was a Friday night, you could go to the pub.
I don't. You can't go to the pub here. They close at 8 o'clock.
Oh,
All the pubs are shut at 8 o'clock here in Dublin, in Ireland. They're just
are
like at the
they?
moment. Yeah,
Okay, well,
yeah.
I'm not going to Ireland then.
No, no, not for a couple of months. I'm hoping they're going to be open in a couple of weeks. Uh, people are going out earlier now, so they're going out early in the day. So but
Yeah,
anyway, sure, look, it is what it is.
that is.
But
So, Alan, is there any last thoughts that you would love to give our guests? Any last tips, thoughts, anything like that?
I suppose as Tim Sohn has just said there, showing up is show up every day and do your best and do what you do best, and when you do what you do best, you will shine and you will blossom and everyone will it just works. It's just work. It's so important. To also be personal and to connect with people and to reach out and engage with them. Engage with people. Don't just say, as I do when I'm training, I teach people. So when you're online and someone comes up and someone puts in a comment, if we were having a conversation, and every time we have a conversation and you ask me a question, I just go, I don't say a word to you. How quickly will you get annoyed? Yeah, well, we do it online, so stop doing it. And what I would suggest is to engage, have a conversation, open up the conversation, take it offline, connect with the person, but then bring it back online. And this is the piece that people forget to do, is to bring it back online and keep that conversation going. Because when you do eventually get to meet that person, whether it be in person or whether it be online again on a Zoom call or whatever, you understand, what's going on in their life. They know what's going on in your life. So it's all about building that connection and keeping that momentum going and keeping
Absolutely.
visible. So that's what I say. And enjoy life. Laugh a lot, because it's all about laughing. It's all about enjoying life. We can take
Yes.
ourselves too seriously too much. So, and I want to be in Utah because I'm just loving that backdrop.
Me, you will have fun with us.
Oh,
Everybody, funnel bubble. It's a great time. Oh,
I love that. And I love what you said, Alan, and that is so true, because if nothing for if that wasn't my lesson in 2021, like I met some incredible women at the beginning of 2021, which become my sisters, which in turn led me to my business partner here, Kimberly, which in turn led me to Dawn, who she's with right now, who's like a sister to me as well. Well, they're all sisters to me, but and it's funny, and they, people come into your life, and it's just incredible. And like you said, bring it online, bring it offline, meet with them in person if you can, if it's possible. And look at that snowman.
we're
Look at
introducing
that.
Snowman for you. He said, "Have fun."
I love it. Did you build it?
We did not, and the crew here that's here, these guys, said, "Oh, we got to get the snowman. We got to get the snowman for them." So I just about broke my legs to get here. There you go.
Well, we appreciate that, but no breaking legs, and especially on the ski slope.
Thank you.
I need you to come back in one piece. Tim Sean wants to know if that's Olaf.
Sure, why not? We just watched Frozen last night, the adult version.
Oh, did you?
Not animated.
I didn't know there was an adult version. Okay.
He didn't die, and I don't know if they did either.
No. It's a clean show here. Unstoppable Overcomers. It's a ski thriller horror movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's what I meant by adult version.
Okay.
That's what I meant too. No.
Yeah, you did. Sure, you did.
always ending the show on a high note. With that, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us tonight. A huge thank you to Alan and Kimberly, and we'll see you next Monday, where we start off our combat series with Jerry Barnes, who is an ex-combat officer. So yeah, that's going to be fun too. And again, Alan, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, and I wish you the best of luck in writing your book. Let us know when it's out, and we'll help promote that for you. And you heard it here first that there is a book coming out. We're just not sure when, but when it comes out, we'll let you know.
It will be. Yeah.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you so
show.
much. Thank you so much for the opportunity to come on and talk with you today. I really enjoyed it. It's been an absolute blast. So, guys, thank you so much. And don't forget, reach out, connect. Happy to chat with everyone. And Tim, get in contact. Let's do this 1-to-1 soon. All righty.
And don't forget the Global Tea Party or Tea Break every third Friday of the month.
Yeah. So it's happening this Friday. We have Gail Robinson, Gail and Aidan Robinson. Gail now, she's going to be talking. The two of them are going to be talking all about TikTok. So join us. It's 7 a.m. Pacific daytime, 10 a.m. Eastern, and 3 p.m. GMT. So we'll be there. Register globalteabreak.com. That's where you'll find us.
Perfect. And it is in the comments, people. So please sign up. And I gotta take Friday off. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully it'll be snowing.
I hope so. I want a blizzard here. I want a blizzard. All right, folks. Have a good night. See you next week.
Talk to you. Bye. Bye.